spend some time. I can't get you out of my mind. She's a silhouette, like the ghost.
Hey everyone, my name is Kevin Jones.
And I'm Grace Jones.
And we are Sweet Mylo. And we are sat here in a historic, beautiful old building. It is currently January of 1883. And we're going to discuss our brand new phonographic record that is now released to the market. Thanks. Shout out to Eisenhower for making that possible. Which one? Einstein? One of those. Any of the guys, that did the things. Edison's the one. That's the one I'm thinking of.
This one is the most personal, I feel, because I can remember the moments in every word of every line, especially very early on in our relationship. When we first started dating, I was not in a good place. I don't know, you were incredibly patient with me, and you put in the time, and you didn't leave me. It's so hard because it is from your perspective, but
it is from my perspective, but it is very much about what you were going through. And yeah, I'll just give a little bit of context, I guess, on what this song is about, but you can actually explain more of what you were experiencing. It was kind of depressing to talk about just because it was a very generous offer that our friends gave us. When we first moved to Nashville, our good friends let us stay in their house, in their basement, because that was just the best arrangement that we had. It was for us to sleep in the basement, set up our stuff. It's a pretty big house they have. And
it was like a studio apartment.
They had a little kitchenette and stuff, but no walls, no windows.
We had curtains around our bed for privacy.
Yeah, walls technically, but yeah, curtains around our bedroom basically. We just picked an area in the basement, put up curtains. When we moved here as well, we had no jobs at the time.
Yeah.
Partly because you were going to transfer to a different store and then it didn't work out. Yeah. And so we sort of were just jobless, which we were okay with because once again, our friends were being super nice. They weren't charging us to stay. And I think we needed a moment to decompress for at least a couple weeks before we went back into the job search and all that. So we were just sort of chilling pretty comfortably, generally speaking, for a little bit.
Yeah.
But
then I got really sick.
But yeah, it started with Grace got a cold and you were bedridden basically.
It was very much
weeks.
So COVID flu-esque. I was bedridden for 2.5, 3 weeks, and I don't really know what happened. Yeah, I couldn't be around people anymore. I couldn't leave our little bedroom area. I couldn't get in the car. I couldn't even go outside without freaking out.
Yeah, it was a full mental, I don't know which.
Yeah, and I was scared of you too.
Yeah.
Unfounded. There was no reason.
Yeah, it was all out of nowhere almost.
Yeah.
But also, if you had lived in that basement, you would understand why you'd get at least stir crazy, if nothing else. Because, also the walls and the ceilings are really thin. So you could hear people walking upstairs and it was very exposed. There was no privacy of any kind.
Yeah, there's no windows, but there was no privacy.
Yeah, it didn't feel safe, even though we were safe. And yeah, you took it really hard because you were bedridden, you were sick, and then you had no motivation to get out of bed after that.
Yeah.
And
it
was hard. It was just really hard.
Yeah.
For Grace, for me, it was hard because it was did I make a mistake moving here when I did? I was man, I should have just gotten an apartment or something, or figured out something better because now my wife's losing her mind because I just forced us into this basement. And yeah, a lot of regretful feelings at first, and just hard because you couldn't really do anything. I had to take care of both of us.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have money, and I didn't really have.
You
I don't know.
It have a support system really either.
No, I didn't have any help.
Yeah, you were doing everything on your own, and I also in my moments where I was doing better, I couldn't really communicate with you at all.
Yeah, the lack of communication because you dissociated,
so
more
much.
than ever.
Yeah.
Probably during that time, you were not present really at all. Yeah, I just wrote that. I just went. I did have a little studio set up, which I was grateful for. But during that, I just wrote that on the piano, just a little. I think it was just a verse chorus, and then I was well, this is the saddest thing I've ever written, and Grace it'll push her over the edge if I share this. Obviously, I'm not going to share this with her because it was very sad and obviously about what was happening. So I was just shoving this in the drawer, never to be seen again.
We picked up our phone
6 months passed. We got an apartment. Things got so much better after getting out of the basement. And probably a full year and a half passed. Mm-hmm. And then I was just sharing you like voice memos, basically. And We Wake Together was one of them. And I was like, ooh, I had been long enough finally that I was like, I think I can show this to Grace. I was like, this is kind of sad, and it's about what we went through.
Well, I remember you also were like, I don't think you'll like this as much as I like this. And I was like, no, I love this song.
I was like, I think I want to change some of the lyrics. And like, I don't know what it is. Those songs are difficult because they feel very, it's really hard not to feel like you're being super like melodramatic.
Yeah. You were like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the first verse. I kind of want to change it. And I was like, don't you dare. I'm going to be so mad if you change anything. Because it was just like, you were like, oh, but it's corny. And I was like, no, it's just you talking. You're just saying what you're thinking, and that's it. But I remember you weren't really sure how to end the song.
Yeah, no, this is one of Grace's biggest contributions.
This is probably the biggest contribution
to the writing. I had. To the writing.
You were playing it for me. I think we were just hanging out in the studio, and I was like, how about instead of we don't make a single noise, say I think it's time I made some noise.
Yeah. And that opened up a whole like Pandora's box.
That completely changed how the rest of the song went. And I mean, the whole third verse bridge, whatever you want to call it, like would not have happened.
The whole breakdown that I think is kind of the point of the song.
Yeah.
Because like we pick up our phones and not a single word is spoke. Silence is a choice and we don't make a single noise. And then it's like, okay, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Like I've said my piece pretty much by that point. And you said to do I think it's time I made some noise. And that was just like, oh, this can be about finally deciding you've had enough. I'm sick of the peace. I'm sick of the quiet. That kind of stuff where it's just
give me a reaction.
Give me anything at this point. I'm so desperate for you to speak to me.
I don't care what words you say. At least it's something.
At least it's something.
Yeah.
It's very raw. Mm-hmm. It's very raw.
But it ends with the door being open again.
Well, yeah, every song, I didn't want any song to be left with that, like, super pessimistic kind of... Because, like, these are just real feelings, you know? And feelings are fleeting. They change.
You wrap your arms
around, it'll be all right. You know, it's just kind of like another way to say, like, this is a passing thing.
Yeah.
Because every negative thing is a passing thing.